What's going on, guys? It's me, your host, the one and only Two Toast, and today we're back at it with another story. But first, we got a bowl to smoke. You know the drill. You guys gotta load your bowls, get your dabs ready, roll your joints, whatever it is that you're doing, and we gotta smoke together real quick before we get into this story, because it's a recent life story, man. This just happened to me literally 2 days ago, Saturday. I'm recording this video on Monday, so we're gonna get into that. Smoke with me. Let's do this, guys. Cheers. Don't mind the dirty sploof, gotta clean it. Just gonna skim on right past that. Smoking on some of that petrol rainbows, you already know. Whew. Super tasty. We're gonna leave half of that bowl for later in the video. Without further ado though, guys, let's just jump right into the story. Now this story starts and takes place just like any other day for me, with my alarm buzzing, going off at 5:20 in the morning. Now I don't know about you guys, but I'm personally not a morning person like that, so having the alarm go off at 5:20 in the morning, already kind of a bummer way to start your day. But you know what, you do what you gotta do. The only thing that made the alarm clock going off a little extra shitty this morning was the fact that normally I'm on a Monday through Friday work schedule, but because of work demand recently, we're on a Monday through Saturday schedule, so it was a Saturday, man. I decided that I'm gonna run over, hit the coffee stand, at least get some energy in me, so I'm not completely dead for work. Need a little bit of caffeine in me in this morning, you know what I mean? So, I pick up my coffee, everything's going good. I start my 40-minute trek to work. Yeah, got a little bit of a ride, but that's all good. I'm about 5 minutes away from my work, and now the road that I'm driving on to my work is just a 2-lane road, one way each way, and it's just in the back of nothing. It's just, there's nothing back there, man. There's one little gas station within like a 10-15 mile radius around my work, something like that, something crazy like that. At least it's ridiculous. Because it's so early on a Saturday, there's like hardly any cars on the road. It's great. I love it because I always have such horrible luck on the road to my work. I always get stuck behind the truck or just the slowest motherfuckers on that road that just go either the speed limit or below the speed limit for absolutely no reason. This road like hardly ever has any cops on it. And if this road does have cops on it, they're usually passing you going the opposite direction, and unless you're really doing something to get their attention, it's too much of a pain in their ass to like turn around, because they're, you know what I mean? They gotta find a driveway or something like that. They ain't gonna go through that much work. So regardless, now that we're off that little tangent of slow ass drivers, out of nowhere, it's just me and one other car on this road coming the opposite direction on this 2-lane road. And out of nowhere, I see this car jet out from behind the other car, straight Jimmy Neutron style, bro. Got a blast, you know what I mean? We got about maybe a 2-3 seconds at most game of chicken we gotta play before someone gotta make a decision here, right? We're either colliding, we're either hitting, or one of us is hitting. He's either gonna be sideswiping the car on his right, or I'm gonna be going off the road a little bit on my right. And there's, you know, mailboxes and stuff on my right hand side, and on his right side you got the guardrail going up, and then you know, the car. I realize that this dude, he ain't moving, he don't give a shit, he going. So I make the executive decision to make the initiative oh shit decision and kinda swerve to the right a little bit. In doing so, the right side of my car, my front right tire and my back right tire go off the road a little bit, hit a little bit of the gravelly section. Thankfully, you know, I was able to not go like too far where like no mailboxes or anything like that was an issue, but What it did cause me to do is it caused that car to instantly just kind of go sideways a little bit, you know, because I swerved there and I had to, whenever I came to swerve back onto the road, it said nah, my old car, it wasn't having it. The tires, they said, you know, we pretty good, but we not that good, you know, and they decided we gonna go sideways a little bit. In that process of ending, like, we're basically like a 75% completed turn of a 180 degree, right? So we go from this to this, and pretty instantaneously. And now when we're going like this, I end up on the other side of the road, so I end up in the oncoming lane, and my passenger side of the front bumper slams up against the guardrail. That gets torn, that gets slid, that gets torn, and causes the back right side of the bumper to bang into the guardrail. So now I kind of end up just kind of in the opposite lane, facing the correct direction of the oncoming person. So I did a 180, and then I got my ass end of the car kind of hitting up against the guardrail, and then the other half of my car is just in the middle of the road. Where this happened was on this stretch of road, there was a curve right there. So this happened basically on the turn. So my car was just half in the middle of the road on that turn right there. So if anyone else was flying around that corner, they ain't gonna really see me that well, you know. I mean, of course I got my hazards on and, you know, headlights on and everything like that, trying to be seen as much as possible, but for a few seconds it was like, well, hopefully no one else comes up and slams the other half of my car. Thankfully that didn't happen. I was able to get out of the car, assess the damage super quick, made sure that I was going to be able to at least move the car a little bit to a safe location. I was able to, thankfully, the car was still drivable enough to be able to get it to that one and only gas station within a 15-mile radius of my work that I thankfully had just passed. I got it into there. I pulled into the parking lot. Now I gotta make the decision of, like, what to do. Like, what's the point of calling the cops in this situation is basically what's going through my mind right now. Is it worth it? Is it not worth it? Because I figure out, like, what am I gonna tell them? There was actually no technically collision between me and the other vehicle. He just made me go off the road. That made, you know what I mean? That caused the chain reaction, but there was nothing linking that other vehicle and me. Oh yeah, of course the other dude, you know, he wasn't being linked to nothing, so he never stopped. He just, Jimmy Neutron style, man, got a blast. He was going. He was a rocket. And then here I am, just left sitting in the Chevron parking lot with a torn bumper and a smashed up back rear bumper, and now I'm sitting here like, well, shit, that's a quite unfortunate situation now, isn't it? Because it's super early in the morning, I'm 40 minutes away from home. Now I gotta figure out how exactly am I gonna get to here, to my house with the car, because like I said, it's also a Saturday, so it's not like I can tow my car to any mechanic shop or anything, so I gotta just tow it home. More importantly, I needed to make sure I could get a ride home, because I didn't know at the time that the tow truck would either take me home with it or what kind of tow truck was going to be coming. I had no idea, you know what I mean? So I am over here just blowing up my girlfriend's phone. I call her like 7 times. She's just dead to the world because she works evening shifts and she usually stays up pretty late. So she just went to bed just a few hours earlier. So she was straight in REM sleep, you know what I mean? She was gone. I ended up having to call the landlord, ask the landlord to come down and knock on the door, make the dog start barking, and that made her wake up enough to the point where I could then call her and let her know what everything that happened went down and be like, hey, I need to be picked up 40 minutes away. Thankfully, at the end of the day, it was just the car, just my car, that got injured. That no one else got hurt. I'm fine. Other person's all good. There wasn't any like chain reaction from the accident. Thankfully, it wasn't like no one else got into an accident because of that or anything like that. So thankfully, it kind of worked out, you know, probably the best way that it could have. Now that it's a couple days later, we kind of already went through and we kind of deemed that with the old car that I have and the repair costs that it would cost, even if I wanted to go through and get it repaired, it's just not going to be worth it. So now I gotta just sell that car online, end up using that money for a down payment for a new car. But we're all good, man. We're here. We made it through it alive. If I had been going just a little bit quicker, or he had been going a little bit quicker, or it just happened at a slightly different timing, he would have come out. It would have been a head-on collision, man. If there wasn't that couple seconds to make that decision timing for one of us to do something, it would have been over, bro. Cause both of us, like I said, it was just a early morning Saturday, hardly any traffic on the road, and I know that's why that dude was just passing that dude without any hesitation. He's like, oh, there's gonna be no traffic, because even the way that I was coming from was at least it's a less likely traveled direction in the morning time, so it could have been a lot worse. Thankfully it wasn't. It's time to finish off this bowl. I hope you guys have enjoyed this story. I do have this is like my 4th or 5th car accident, I'll be honest with you guys, in that they weren't even all of the, like, I think it's been 4. And I don't even think hardly any of them have been my fault necessarily. I've just been and now I know that's like the most at fault person thing to say, is to say that they was the victim and all. And I'm not trying to say I'm the victim in all of them. I have definitely been able to avoid a couple of them had I been a little bit smarter, reacted a little bit quicker, whatever the situation may be. But if you guys enjoyed this video, I got some more car accident stories that I could share. Let me know if you guys want to hear those. Pack another bowl with me, finish off the bowls you already got, take another dab, whatever it is that you gotta do. So we getting a little more stoned over here before this video ends. Cheers. All about them dirty sploofs. Woo. You know, got cottonmouth out the ass right now. I'm gonna go get something to drink. You guys go do the same. Go find some water to drink. Drink some water right now. I know you ain't drink water in a minute. I'm looking at you right now. I see you. Go drink some water, man. I'll catch you guys on the next video. See ya.